Ta-da! And welcome to Joseph's Model Railway and Toy Room. Thank you so much, as always, for joining me in a little bit of a midweek mayhem. This isn't an official number video that you need to go and follow in the series. It's really just one of these quick tips I just wanted to share with you and make you aware of this. Now, as you would be aware, for those of you following the channel, and if you're new here, hey, howdy doody, welcome, enjoy. You don't need to like, follow, or subscribe to any of the videos I put out there. I only put them out there where I can and have a holly jolly great time doing so. Housekeeping out of the way, let's get to it. Foam board. I have been really in love with foam board, as you can probably see, building most of the layout. And so much so that I'm even skipping some steps that other modelers are using because it is just such a versatile product to use. And of course, now we're up to building faulty towers, which is below me at the moment and going very well, if I may say so. But I wanted to point something out. In the past, when I needed to bond a few pieces of foam board together or what have you, I have just been using the clear Gorilla Glue. Now, take, for example, here underneath, there's this great big sheet here that looks like half a cookie. Now, that's two sheets that have been glued together. Now, in the past, gluing large pieces together, I would simply take two sections. I would take some of our Gorilla Glue and just, I'm talking about pea-sized drops. Bloop, bloop, bloop. 3 would be more than enough. Put it together, leave some weight on it, come back in 24 hours, and that stuff is rock solid. And I'm usually strategic about where I place the glue if I am going to be using the hot wire cutter or sanding or shaping it for whatever. So, for example, 1, 2, 3, and I could shape it into a nice hill or mountain or whatever you want to do. Now, that's fantastic, and it's not too bad. When it comes to shaping, hot wire cutter is a very quick and nice way to get the job done. However, sometimes if you do need to hit a section where the glue is, it will still go through, but it just takes longer to get through, which is why, and this was to do with the fiddle yard and another application though, I ended up coming across our foam tack from Woodland Scenics, which, as the name suggests, very good, because a lot of other glues can react highly using our foam board, particularly aerosols. If you're trying to paint it and doing that, you'll find it's going to eat it away very quickly, as seen in some footage here. You can use PVAs and things like that, but sometimes it can be a bit problematic doing it and it doesn't want to bond and things like that. But this stuff is fantastic. Now, just like the Gorilla Glue, a little goes a very long way. And in which case, what's really great about the glue is it's very similar to our PVA, but it gives us about 15 minutes of working time and will grab nicely and you can shape it and get it into the position you need. Dollar for dollar, it's going to work out cheaper than the Gorilla, but it really is good, especially because with Model Railway, and as you may be able to see in the background and doing stuff with cork and things like that, this has all been done with this glue. And as you can see, I think the results for everything I've been doing, this is just card, this is just some foam, cork, and the metal shims for the DCC power base. I really think that this glue is fantastic. And of course, like any good model glue, of course, it's going to dry clear. I thought I'd give you a little demonstration on that because in the past, like I said, if you're using the Gorilla Glue and I've glued two pieces together here, getting the hot wire through can be slow. Even in a section like this, it could take at least 60 seconds to sort of gently keep letting it heat and carve and carve and carve. This has been glued together, of course, using this product. Let us flick our hot wire cutter on at the moment and we will let's just go straight through it if we can. Now, of course, it is a little bit slower because we are having to go through the adhesive, but even that being said, I don't have to push or apply any additional force to it as I'd need to do with the Gorilla Glue. And of course, as we come off here, there you go. It's just a magnificent, you can keep carving and sculpting as you were doing with the hillside as we've done in earlier projects, just smoothly, the way you need it to be, and the line where the glue is fantastic. Now, I just was not getting that with the Gorilla Glue. Often you'd hit a bit of a harsh bit and it would, like a stone, it would drag through and you could not get a result as smooth as what we're getting there. So for those of you looking to work with foam board, and I'm talking on the bigger base sheet sort of stuff where you need to get large stuff put together like this and then come along and cut it, very, 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 very good stuff. As you'll see in a bit of footage here where I'm applying the glue for this, I've just literally taken it out the bottle and squirted it out like I was lathering up a quality hot dog with sauce and mustard. Ketchup for the rest of you. In which case you'd usually take some sort of a spreader and spread it out. And depending on your application, like with the shims or when I was putting on the cork and things like this, of course I did just make sure it was applied, as you'll see in that particular video. There's going to need to be a cut somewhere here. We still need to shape the edges. So the glue has pretty much just traced an almost D shape because nothing's really going to have to happen on the end. And there's not much. It's been weighted down for 24 hours and look at that. That is not going anywhere. That's nice and solid. I'm really happy and fantastic. So we still need to start sculpting it, but Faulty Towers will be sitting somewhere here. But it's also the first time I tried this application with this glue to do something a little more serious as well, to have a look at its power in holding. I know the Gorilla Glue works really well, but this was a nice alternative and I like the way it's easier to work with. Check this out. This is the backside to Faulty Towers. It's a terrible camera angle, isn't it really? But basically this module is going to be sitting back here. That'll come over to our bridge here and the tracks wrapping around the loop. Now, of course, these are 3 sections of foam board here. 1, 2, 3. I've even numbered that for you. How convenient. And this still needs to be shaped off the top. But attached to it is, of course, the Woodland Scenics, the stone work that they already have. Now, this stone work in its packaging, it's at least 1 kilo or thereabouts. There's some weight to it. We're far from finished with what we need to do, as I said. However, the stonework was originally attached with our Gorilla Glue. Now, I've got no problems with that because we're not doing anything on the other side of it. And I know it holds really, really well. Of course, then this arrived a few weeks later after this bit had already dried, but I still needed to start getting the next 2 layers joined up to it. So those additional layers have been held together with our Woodland Scenics foam tack. Why I'm saying that is that if we just, and again, it was only applied drop, 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 drop in the middle. And if we turn it upside down, remember I've got at least 1 kilo pulling off the bottom and look at that. Nothing is going anywhere. Absolutely fantastic stuff. So that's all I've got to say for you in this video. But the king of the mountain has got to be Woodland Scenics foam tack glue. If you're doing a lot with foam board, make sure you've got some really, really great results. Plus you get a good working time if you need to sort of work on things. So fantastic. Again, if you're going down the avenue of using the Gorilla Clear, I don't like the foaming up one. That's not really for me. This is really, really good stuff. I actually buy it in bigger bottles and keep decanting it because the little bottles, the great thing is the lid has a little metal spike in it that'll stop your end from clogging up all the time. So I just keep decanting more and more into this little one. I've had no problems at all. But if you are going to be using a hot wire cutter to do things and different shaping and sculpting and things like that, just don't put the glue where you're going to be working with it. And if you are going to be doing a lot of that and still need great adhesion, please do make sure you go for the foam tack glue. It's an absolute winner. Again, with the clear, it is recommended that you spray some water on your 2 pieces before applying your glue and joining it. That's just what I've done. It's what the instruction said to do, so I did it. So I'll often just take, I've done in the past, a spray bottle, put the 2 pieces, squirt, 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 just a little bit of water on them, put the glue in, put it together, weight it down, and away you go. You don't have to do any of that using this, so it's the winner to go for. Check it out. Thanks so much for joining me in this one. Please do stay safe. I look forward to seeing you in the rest of the series. Party on. Stay safe. Toodles.